Hello friends, let's continue with another important section, that is lookup functions in Excel. Now as you can see, the word lookup basically means that we try to look up the data to find the corresponding values. So we basically have two types of lookup functions in the earlier versions. So one is the horizontal lookup, and then we have the vertical lookup. So as you can see, the word actually starts with H here for horizontal lookup, and then for vertical lookup we have a V here, right? So what let's do is, now let's look at vertical lookup and then understand how it works. Okay, so let's go to a new sheet, right? And let's take some data here. Let's call it as product and price, and let's also go for another thing. Let's say we can say status, that is whether it is in stock or not. Okay, so let's look for some products. So let's look for watch, some kind of tape, okay, some kind of book, okay, some kind of switch or some kind of table, etc. Okay, and then the price. So we can have some price. Okay, that's it. So table is 2000. Now status is available or not available. So available, it is A, not available is NA. Okay, we can keep it like this, right? Now the idea is, you should know that when you say VLOOKUP, I can just show you with the shape here with the arrow. VLOOKUP basically looks up the data from top to bottom like this vertically. Okay, and obviously the horizontal lookup is from left to right. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so we are not talking about horizontal lookup now. Let's look at vertical lookup. So what happens is, suppose there is a requirement that I just put the product name here. Let's say product name. Then based on the product name, we should find out the price of the product. Okay. So if I enter the product name here, the price should be shown here. This is done by using a VLOOKUP. So we first write VLOOKUP, and then we should write the VLOOKUP here in the price. So we have to say VLOOKUP. It says what is the value you have to look up for. So the value is going to be given in here. This is the place where you're going to write the name of the product. Okay, then put a comma. Then it'll say where is your data. So you would select the entire data here. All right. Then it says which column index is your requested data for that value. So you should see the column index. It is going to be 1, 2, 3. So product is the first column, column 1. Price is the column 2, and status is the column 3. So we want the price. So we have to go for second column. And the last option is true or false, which just tells you whether we are looking at approximate match with the data or exact match with the data. I would request you to select the false here, which is exact match with the data. Close the bracket and press enter. Now you will see a NA here because we have not entered anything in the product name. So once you enter the product name, let's call it as tape, and press enter, you will get the value 3000, right? Now you may argue that we already have the data here, no? Why do we have to do a H lookup? Now the reason for this is, right now whatever data you are able to see is only 5 or 4 records. In reality, there could be hundreds of records and it's very difficult to find out. Okay. So in that case, if you change the value here to, let's say if you change the value to book, if you can see here, Now the value of book is 1000. So it has found the value for price for book automatically. That is the point. And why is it called a VLOOKUP? Because it looks for the product from top to bottom. So for example, when you look for the book, it starts with watch, then it comes to tape, then it comes to book, and then here it finds it. Okay. So once again, we can change the value. Let's say we change the value to table like this. Now, next one, if you want to also see the status of the product, you can again do similar thing, VLOOKUP, and we know we have to look up the value here, which is the value in G2, then comma, then the data is this data, then comma. Now again, which is the column index? Column index is either 1, 2 or 3. So this time the column index is 3 because status is in 3. So you have to go for 3 and false. You know what is false. Okay. Close the bracket. That's it. So you got an NA here. Okay. So if you go for watch, let's call for watch. Okay. Then you are able to see the availability status like this. Okay. And if you want, you can do a little bit of further thing. Like for example, you go here in the status and go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. And here you can say text that contains, and if it contains A, then you can fill it with green, right? And you can go for one more rule that if it text is containing NA, then it is red. Now you see, if I go for tape, let's say TAP, tape, you have the price and also the color is changing to red because it is NA, not available, like that. So I think you got the idea. So please practice these steps for VLOOKUP. So once again, I am reminding you that there are two functions, HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP, out of which we have done the VLOOKUP. We'll look at other functions in the future videos. Thank you.